Today, we're going to dive into an absolute masterpiece of Japanese literature, one that's as dark as it is brilliant, Ryunosuke Akutawa's Rashomon. This short story, written all the way back in 1915, drops us into a world where morality, well, it's a luxury that most people just can't afford. Right from the get-go, the scene is just incredibly bleak. Picture this, a cold, non-stop rain hammering down on a city in ruins. And there, under this huge crumbling gate, a single man is just waiting for the storm to pass. The tone is set from the very first line. You know right away this is a world filled with gloom and total uncertainty. And this one question is what's absolutely tormenting him as he waits. This isn't some abstract philosophical debate for him. No, this is a real choice between life and death. And the answer he lands on is going to decide everything that happens next.
Okay, so first, let's really dig into the setting and get to know the guy at the center of this whole crisis. We're at what Akutagawa basically calls the Gate of Despair. So we're in 12th century Kyoto, but you gotta forget any image you have of a beautiful, majestic city. This place has been ravaged by disaster after disaster. Earthquakes, fires, famine, you name it. Society itself is falling apart. And the Rashomon Gate, it's become this grim symbol of all that decay. It's no longer a grand entrance. It's a place where people just dump the bodies they can't afford to bury. And our main character, well, he's a victim of this total collapse. He's just been fired. He's got no money, no home, zero prospects. He's completely cornered. The rain has him physically trapped under the gate, but his situation has him existentially trapped. He has hit rock bottom. So his inner conflict is just stark. He can hold on to his morals and starve to death. Or he can throw his honor away and survive by becoming a thief. He hates the very idea of stealing, but, the other option is guaranteed death. He's just turning this impossible choice over and over in his head, completely paralyzed. So since he can't make a decision and he needs to get out of the cold, the servant decides to try and spend the night up in the loft of the gate. And this leads to, well, a horrifying discovery. You can just feel the tension building here. He doesn't just run up the ladder. No, he moves like a cat, holding his breath, totally on edge about what might be waiting for him in the dark. I mean, he's climbing into a space that's known to be full of dead bodies. The air is thick with decay. What on earth could he possibly find up there? And when he finally peeks into the loft, it's so much worse than he could have imagined. Bodies are just scattered all over the place. But then he sees something that's truly terrifying. A single, flickering light. Someone or something is alive up there, moving among the dead. What happens next is really the philosophical heart of the story. This confrontation is going to completely shatter the servant's worldview and really force him to make his choice. Let's break down the old woman's logic. As his eyes get used to the dark, he realizes the figure is a shriveled old woman, and she's doing something just unspeakable. She's methodically pulling the long hair from a dead woman's head. And get this, the servant, the same guy who was just debating becoming a thief himself, is suddenly filled with this violent, righteous anger at what he thinks is pure evil. He leaps out, sword drawn, and confronts her. The old woman is terrified, and she tries to explain herself. She says, hey, this dead woman I'm taking hair from, she wasn't exactly a saint. To stay alive, she used to sell dried snake meat to guards and just pretend it was fish. It was a lie, sure, but it's what she had to do to keep from starving. And this right here is the heart of her argument. She's not doing this for profit. She's stealing the hair to make a wig so she can sell it for a little food and not starve. And she claims the dead woman, who did what she had to do to survive, would totally get it. She would forgive her. The bottom line is, in this world, survival is the only rule that matters. Let's just pause on that for a second. The old woman's entire worldview is born from absolute desperation. I mean, in a normal world, what she's doing is monstrous. But here, in this world where everyone is just one step away from death, she's arguing that the only real crime is to let yourself starve. Staying alive, that's become the only virtue. Now, hearing the old woman's logic, it does something to the servant. All of his indecision just vanishes, and it's replaced by something cold, something new. A choice is finally made. As the servant listens, his moral outrage just evaporates. Poof, gone. The old woman's words don't just excuse what she did, they give him permission.
They give him the exact justification he was looking for all along. It's like this dark light bulb goes off in his head, and he finally finds his courage. Not the courage to die with honor, but the courage to live without it.
And in this absolutely chilling twist, he turns her own ruthless logic right back on her. He practically repeats her justification word for word. His thinking is, well, if your survival justifies stealing hair from a corpse, then my survival definitely justifies stealing your clothes. Oh yeah, he learned his lesson all right.
And the change is instant. And it's brutal. He's not the indecisive servant anymore. He acts with this swift, merciless violence. He rips her kimono right off her, the only thing she has of any value, and then kicks her down onto the same pile of bodies she was just robbing. In that single moment, he becomes the very thing he claimed to hate.
So now we come to this story's final haunting moments. The choice is made, the deed is done. So, what happens next?
And that's it. That's the last line of the story. After he takes the clothes, the servant scrambles back down the ladder and just disappears into the pitch black night. We never find out what happens to him. Did he survive? Did he become a notorious criminal? Akutagawa will gives us nothing. The servant is just gone, swallowed by the darkness, both literally and morally. And that's where the story leaves us. See, Rashomon doesn't give you a neat little lesson at the end. Instead, it hits you with a terrifying question. It forces you, the reader, to ask what you would do if you are pushed to the absolute limit. When the choice is to abandon your values or die, what's the right answer? It's a question that's haunted people for over 100 years, and frankly, there's no easy answer at all.